Hello gamers! The past few weeks I have been absolutely obsessed with Monster Hunter. It's completely taken over my brain. As such, when I get really into something, and I think, I should probably make a new video, I usually end up wanting to make a video about whatever I'm super into at that moment. Sometimes I think some stuff can be too off-topic for the channel, even if I can technically make videos about whatever I want. But for this case, I actually think Monster Hunter is right at home with my other content. I mean, I've actually already talked about it before on the channel since I put a spotlight on one of the games in my first monster-taming games video. And to tie in this video with that one, I'm going to talk about why that game specifically works so well as an entry point into the world of Monster Hunter for Pokemon and monster taming fans like myself. This might sound weird, but it actually took me years to get into Monster Hunter properly. My journey with the game dates way back to me randomly deciding to try playing the World game on Steam, in which I played a few hours, did a few quests, and then nothing was clicking, so I just stopped playing. Fast forward to last year, Rise comes out on Switch, I get it, and I actually have a great time playing with friends and family. And then once again, it just suddenly stops clicking, and I stop playing. Something every time was keeping me from fully enjoying the games, until later that year, Monster Hunter Stories 2 released for the Switch. And this is what ended up being a miracle for me. I love Monster Hunter Stories. In fact, I just finished playing through the first game recently, and now I've got all the experience of both games under my belt. These games allow you to explore the world of Monster Hunter through a completely different perspective, as a rider who forms bonds with the series' iconic monsters and fights alongside them to save the world. The battle system is one of my absolute favorites from any RPG, putting you into a rock-paper-scissors match against your opponents, where you have to learn their attack patterns and match up against them to deal extra damage. You're always paired up with your Monstie companion, and you can even switch into riding mode to hop on your friend and use special kinship attacks. In the sequel on Switch, you even get extra party members in the form of both fellow riders and hunters who will assist and fight with you in battle. Both games offer similar but different enough storylines about the protagonist and their Rathalos, journeying through the world to stop a mysterious phenomenon and meet a ton of fun characters. One of my favorite aspects of the games is how they indulge in the differences between riders and hunters, but also their similarities. These spin-off titles captivated me in a way the mainline games never did, but they also acted as the perfect gateway into being able to fully enjoy the mainline games. After playing through Stories 2, I found myself picking Rise back up this year, and I've already clocked in to 100 hours. It's crazy how easy it was for me to enjoy the game after I got myself acquainted with the world and fell in love with all the different creatures and characters through Stories. If there's anyone out there who might be interested in Monster Hunter but doesn't feel like they'd be able to fully enjoy the games where all you really do is just hunt the monsters, I absolutely implore you to check out Stories, especially if you're a fan of Pokemon or other monster taming games like me. When I see a game fully centered around unique and fantastic creatures, my immediate thought is how much I want to be able to be their friends and raise them. I think that's what a lot of people think who enjoy monster taming games. And if Monster Hunter games turn you away because you can't do that, then Stories is exactly the sort of thing you need. For me, after playing Stories, I definitely felt like I was able to enjoy the mainline games and hunt away as much as I liked, since I felt like I was able to get to know the creatures on a personal level already. But even if you don't end up wanting to play a mainline entry, Stories is still a wonderful experience that you will most certainly enjoy as someone who loves to tame funny monsters. Both Stories games are worth your time, but as the first one is only available on 3DS and mobile devices, it certainly is far from being accessible. So it's important to note that you don't need to play the first one to enjoy the second one at all, which is much more readily accessible, being available on Switch and PC. Speaking of, the second game has a very generously long demo available on both platforms as well, so you should really consider trying it out. It's the perfect size to get a good idea on whether or not you'll enjoy the full game. Why did I make this video? Well, honestly, I've just been thinking a lot about how long it took me to get into this franchise. And it's really funny to me that in the end, it took a monster-taming spin-off title to actually get invested. Hey, whatever works, right? As I know a lot of you on this channel love Pokemon and other monster tamers, I thought I'd share these ramblings in case it catches anyone's attention. I seriously love Monster Hunter. It's shocking how much of this series is actually super appealing to me, since years ago I never thought it'd actually be something I would enjoy so much. I'm interested in making other videos about Monster Hunter, especially specifically relating to the story's games, but I figured with the recurring topic of monster taming here, this would be a good start. Well, thanks for listening to me go on and on and on about games revolving around silly little creatures once again. Have a great day, everyone, and I hope you might consider checking out Monster Hunter stories if you haven't.